July 2026, Muscat, Oman. A man walked into immigration carrying a fake Indonesian passport. The name wasn't his, the photograph was. His real name was Saurabh Chandrakar, a man from Bhilai, Chhattisgarh. Just a few years earlier, he'd been selling juice for 10 rupees a glass.
This
For
time
the
it did.
last 3 years, India had been trying to find him. This time, it did. He is taken to Al Khau Detention Center, the most secure prison in Muscat. My name is Mahadev. People called me a betting app, a gambling app, a scam. They were wrong. I wasn't an app. I was something much larger. Let me tell you how I was built. Who built me? How I quietly became one of India's largest underground financial networks, and why, despite everything you are about to hear, not one person has been convicted. But to understand me, we have to go back, not to Dubai, to Bhilai, because that's where this story really begins. Bhilai isn't a city people usually dream about. It's a steel town, factories, dust, shift sirens, a place where thousands of people work hard, hoping life changes slowly. For most, it never does. Saurabh Chandrakar ran a roadside juice stall, not a cafe, not a shop, just a small cart. Sugarcane, oranges, seasonal fruits, 10 rupees a glass.
Fresh orange or
A few
pomegranate
streets
today?
away, his friend Ravi Uppal ran a tire repair shop. He also had an engineering degree. Turns out, degrees don't always change your future. Two ordinary men, one ordinary street. Nothing about them suggested they would one day build one of India's largest betting empires. Working on the streets of Bhilai, they noticed something. Not because they were smarter than everyone else, because they were paying attention. Cricket betting was illegal. Everyone knew that. And yet, it was everywhere. Every chai shop, every WhatsApp group, every building where men gathered
Come
to
on,
watch a
hit it
match,
hard!
local bookies, cash in hand, envelopes, a market running on nothing but reputation. No center, no infrastructure, thousands of transactions, all in the dark. No connection between them. Most people looked at the market and saw chaos. But Saurabh and Ravi looked at the exact same market and saw an opportunity. Because every fragmented market has the same weakness. Nobody owns it. And if nobody owns it, someone eventually will. In 2018, both of them flew to Dubai. No investors, no capital worth mentioning, no connections that would open doors. Just a gap, very large, very profitable, and the will to step onto it. They rented a room, opened a laptop, and built me. They named me Mahadev, the Great Destroyer, a strange name for a betting platform. At least that's what I thought. Later, I understood. They weren't naming software, they were naming ambition. And ambition, when it grows large enough, has a habit of destroying everything standing in its way. Let me be precise about what I really was, because almost everyone got this wrong. I wasn't an app. An app is something you download, use for a while, and delete when your phone runs out of storage. I was a system, designed in Dubai, distributed across India, built to survive. Cut off one part, the rest keeps running. The structure wasn't complicated. In fact, you could sketch it on a napkin. My founders didn't try to control every city themselves. Instead, they recruited panel operators, local businessmen, bookies, middlemen, people who already understood their city's betting market. They knew where the money was, how it moved, and more importantly, which questions nobody asked. The deal was simple. You run your city, you bring the users, you collect the cash, you pay the winnings. You handle everything on the ground. 70% stays with you. 30% comes back to Dubai. Exactly like a franchisee. Except the product was illegal, the money was black, and the contract was a handshake. Funny thing about illegal businesses, their contracts are often stronger than legal ones because breaking them comes with consequences. Getting an account was even simpler. One WhatsApp message, that's all. No app store, no download, no forms, no verification. No KYC, no digital trail. A number appeared online. You sent a message, within minutes, 2 bank details arrived. one to deposit money, one to withdraw your winnings. That was the entire onboarding process. Ordering food online requires more verification. So what could you bet on? Almost anything. Cricket, football, tennis, poker, teen patti, even local card games. If the outcome was uncertain, someone was willing to bet on it, which meant I was willing to host it. Then I expanded beyond sports. During the 2023 Chhattisgarh Assembly elections, my panel offered live betting markets. Who wins Raipur North? Winning margin. Even what time the results become clear. To me, an election wasn't democracy. A cricket match wasn't sport. Both were simply uncertain events, different screens, exactly the same mathematics. By that time, I had grown into something much larger. 3,200 panels, active at the same time across India. Every day, between 200 to 240 crores move through me. Pause for a second and imagine that number. 240 crores. Every single day. Through WhatsApp, through handshakes, without a single paper trail. That wasn't a scam anymore. That was a parallel financial system. And a sum like that doesn't move through banks. It moved through hawala. No bank transfer, no distal records. Nothing an investigator could trace with a standard subpoena. Panel operators collected cash across India. Hawala operators settled it inside Dubai. One man sat at the center of that system. Harishankar Tibrewal, a Dubai-based hawala operator. Investigators allege he took my money, moved it through 17 shell companies and brought it back into India, disguised as foreign investments. The money left as crime, it returned as capital. Harishankar Tibrewal is still in Dubai. The Enforcement Directorate knows exactly where he is. He isn't hiding, he is simply there. There's a difference. We'll come back to Tibrewal in episode 2, because without him, this machine could never have reached the scale it did. By 2021, I wasn't just another betting platform anymore. Every single day, more than 200 crores flowed through me. And at that scale, people begin to notice you. Not investors, not venture capitalists, a very different kind of people. One of them was sitting nearly 2,000 kilometers away, in Karachi. His name was Ibrahim Kaskar, better known for something else. He was Dawood Ibrahim's younger brother. According to Enforcement Directorate, this wasn't a coincidence. Investigators allege that Chandrakar partnered with Mustaqim on D company's instructions. The same developers who built me built another betting platform. This one wasn't for India. It was built for Pakistan. Its name was Kheloyar. Until this point, my founders had solved technology. They had solved distribution. They had solved money. Now they needed something else. Protection. Because moving 200 crore every day creates problems that software alone can't solve. Cash attracts attention. Attention attracts rivals. And rivals at this scale don't usually settle disagreements in court. According to the ED, Mustaqim's network provided Chandrakar with 20 to 30 armed security personnel in Dubai. Think about that. A man who sold juice on the streets of Bhilai now traveled with an armed security convoy. Not because he was a politician, not because he was a movie star, because he was running one of the South Asia's largest illegal betting networks. At a certain scale, you stop choosing who notices you. People find you. Then came a moment that almost sounds fictional, except it happened. In August 2023, India toured Ireland for a T20 series. Millions watched the cricket. Very few looked at the boundary boards. If they had, they would have seen Kheloyar, the title sponsor of the series. The same betting platform that investigators linked to Ibrahim Kaskar, the brother of India's most wanted fugitive. The logo appeared on the advertising boards, on the stadium branding, even on the players' jerseys. Not hidden, not disguised, displayed in front of a global television audience. After criticism, Cricket Ireland issued an apology, but by then, millions had already seen it. Kheloyar also sponsored the Lanka Premier League. Different country, same strategy. Another international tournament. Another public stage. Think about what that really means. A betting platform, investigators linked to D company, was no longer operating in the shadows. It had stepped into the floodlights, confident enough to become the face of an international cricket tournament. By now, this wasn't just an illegal betting business, it had become something larger, a network, one that stretched across countries, across financial systems, and according to investigators, into the orbit of organized crime. And somehow, it was still growing. February 2023, Saurabh Chandrakar got married. At least that's how the invitations described it. Calling this a wedding doesn't quite do it justice. The reported budget was 200 crores, 112 crore to a single Mumbai event management company. Investigators allege the payment moved through hawala, all in cash. Then came the performances. Not one, not two, an entire award show. Built for a wedding. Atif Aslam, Rahat Fateh Ali Khan, Tiger Shroff, Sunny Leone, Neha Kakkar, Vishal Dadlani, Bharti Singh, Nusrat Barucha, Ellie Avram, Kriti Kharbanda, Bhagyashri, Krishna Abhishek. Private jets, luxury hotels, entire production teams flown in from Mumbai. Think about that. A man who once sold juice for 10 rupees a glass was now hosting one of the most extravagant weddings India has ever seen. While being a wanted fugitive, the wedding wasn't just a celebration, it was a message. I wasn't hiding anymore. While everyone was Dubai, my real business was still running inside India. One of my fastest growing businesses was called Fair Play. During IPL 2023, Fair Play advertisements appeared across Mumbai. The platform even streamed live IPL matches without owning the broadcast rights. Investigators estimate the broadcasters' losses at nearly 100 crores. Rapper Badshah promoted Fair Play. On the surface, it looked like another celebrity endorsement. Investigators say it wasn't. According to the ED, his payment didn't come directly from India. It came from a company called Glucose Group FZF, registered in Australia. Investigators allege that company was controlled by My Network. Watch what happened next. Money left Dubai, passed through a foreign company, returned to India, looking like a perfectly legitimate brand endorsement. Same money, different identity. And that is where Bollywood entered my story. Not through betting, through money. Investigators began following payment trails. Those trails led to celebrities. 34 personalities came under the ED scanner. Ranbir Kapoor, Shraddha Kapoor, Kapil Sharma, Huma Qureshi, Hina Khan, all summoned, all questioned, all released. 34 people, one answer. We didn't know where the money came from. Maybe they didn't. Nobody asks where money comes from. The check clears, the performance happens. The applause ends. The question comes later, usually in a government office, across a wooden table, with a plastic cup of water. One person didn't just receive a summon. Actor Sahil Khan was arrested. Mumbai police brought him back from Chhattisgarh, the same state where my story began. Investigators allege he held a financial stake in Lotus Book 24/7, one of my linked platforms. Before we end today's episode, one final number. Actually, two. Mumbai police estimated my network handled around 15,000 crores. The ED's estimate 6,000 crores. Same investigation, two government agencies, a difference of 9,000 crores. Think about that. Nobody could agree how large I really was, which tells you something important. I had become large, maybe too large to measure easily. I operated from 2018 to 2023. 5 years, not hidden, not underground, openly. In a country with state police, the CBI, the Enforcement Directorate, income tax, financial intelligence, and courts. Every institution that should have noticed. And yet, I kept growing. Every day, every match, every election, every new city. So maybe the most interesting question isn't how I was built. You already know that. The real question is how I survived. Because criminal empires don't survive for 5 years processing hundreds of crores every single day through technology alone. Something else kept the machine running, and that's episode 2. If stories of crime, power, corruption, and the people who escape justice matter to you, subscribe to Dark Decoded, new deep dives every week.